Hello there. What is going on, everybody? On Friday, we saw a Errata announcement from Atomic Mass Games for Star Wars Legion, and this was a little different because instead of just dropping a new document, there was actually an explanation that went along with it. We're going to talk about that today, talk about the different Errata updates that went into play, why they went into play, what was changed, and also announce a giveaway winner at the end of the video. For those giveaways, I am talking about the 12 Days of Life Day. We're doing another giveaway today. This is happening all month long. If you want to have a chance to enter to win any of these giveaways, you just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. Let's dive into this. This is the press release that was posted by Atomic Mass Games, and it does say, welcome back to another Atomic Mass Games transmission. This month, we have an update to Star Wars Legion Errata document. The Star Wars Legion Errata document. Several of the Rebel Alliance personnel upgrades have had their restrictions changed to core Rebel Alliance trooper units. This is done to limit those upgrades to only core units, and not any current or future Rebel Alliance trooper units with a personnel upgrade slot. It also says the Viper Recon Droid personnel upgrade for the Separatist Alliance has gained the sidearm, melee, and ranged keyword, meaning that it must use the weapon on the upgrade card and never are the weapons on the unit it is purchased for. And finally, the Swoop Bike Riders have had their Vibro Axe's overrun value decreased, or increased rather, from Overrun 1 to Overrun 2. Combined with recent changes to X keywords, the callout in the core rulebook, this makes the rules for swipes more align more with the intent of the developers and how the community was at large playing them. You can find the updated documents and the rules and organized play link page for Star Wars Legion on the website. And that's it for now. So what does all of that mean? Well, we're going to take a look at it, and we're going to talk about it. But basically, they gave you a little bit of the explanation, but to get the full explanation, you kind of need to dig a little bit deeper into what specifically they are talking about. So what we have here is we have pulled up the Errata guide. This is the Errata reference, live the 1st of December 2024, even though they posted it after the 1st of December. So it means it was retroactively in there. So first off, the Swoop Bike Riders. They were updated from Overrun 1 to Overrun 2 built. Now that keyword is on the weapon profile on the card itself, and the Swoop Bike Riders are a support unit that has 2 miniatures. So a lot of people are currently asking, well, does this mean they actually have Overrun 4? And it's one of those details where everybody was saying, well, they have Overrun 1, but if you have 2 of them alive, they have Overrun 2, meaning they can do extra Overrun attacks. You can do 2. So they don't actually get Overrun 4, even if there's 2 of them alive. And the reason for that is because the change to the way, basically, AMG's been rewriting all of the rules. And this was, I think, just one that they missed. This is a game that's been around for a long time. As much as I don't like AMG rewriting all of the rules, I understand that this is, it's a big project, and this is one that I think they missed, and now they're just correcting it. And this is a simple one because they're correcting it to be the same way everybody was playing it anyways. This is one of those where rules as written now gets updated to reflect rules as intended. Here's what I mean. When you're adding weapons with an X value like impact to an attack pool, that's when the X value becomes cumulative, where you add them over and over again. So that's when you would add Overrun 1 or 2, if that's how that worked. However, Overrun is not actually a weapon keyword. It's not a weapons pool keyword. It does not do anything to the dice. It does not come into play as you're building the attack pool. Overrun as an X value is really just giving you the timing window of when you were able to declare overrun attacks. And so since they worded it in a strange way that says, no, you can only do these cumulative keywords when you're building an attack pool, they were left with 2 choices. You could either rewrite the rule or errata the card value. And I think they chose to just errata the card value. It's the same kind of takeaway. It's actually a little better for Swoop Bike Riders, and I'll explain. But I imagine there's a reason they did not want to rewrite the rule, because perhaps there's going to be other numerical values that don't necessarily, they want to prevent them stacking. Like armor has numerical values, but it doesn't always stack, although I don't think there's any opportunities for it to stack quite just yet, but maybe they're looking at adding something else that gives armor and you can't stack it, so it's either like you can use this armor or that armor or something like that. I don't know how they plan to do that, but I think it's a future-proofing mechanism. Now, the reason I say it's a positive net takeaway for Swoop bike riders, and that they still end up with Overrun 2, which you would have had anyway. But if you happen to lose a Swoop bike rider and now only have one model, since it's a static value of Overrun 2 all the time, you still are able to do 2 Overrun attacks with even a single Swoop bike rider. So this is actually a nice little buff for Swoop bike riders. And that's kind of a cool thing. I don't know if they're necessarily an overpowered unit. I have a set, I will admit to have never having run them. But there's different reasons for that. But now that maybe they're worth a second look. Maybe I'll have to pull them out. They seem interesting enough. So yeah, Swoop bike riders always gonna have Overrun 2 now. Not gonna stack if you have multiple miniatures. So that's probably in the case of probably in the case of if they wanted to maybe make a weapon that gave you armor or something. I don't know. I think it's just good future proofing. Scrolling down some more, the 2-1B medical droid. We're gonna see this with all of the rebels that basically were in that rebel troopers upgrade pack, right? Or that rebel specialists, I should say, the rebel specialists upgrade pack. They're changed to be Rebel Core only. And the thing is, I don't know why they didn't just do this for the Imperial Specialists also. It's a weird thing. I mean, why not also do that and future-proof it while you're at it? But I don't know. Maybe they specifically didn't want to. But either way, they just did this for the Rebels. The 2-1B medical droid. This is going to be Rebel Core Trooper only. The same thing, you're going to see the same thing with other ones. The R5 Astromech, the Comms Technician, and the Rebel Officer. Why was this changed? Well, again, one of those things that I guess got missed in playtesting. But with the new Rebel Sleeper Cell that has a personnel upgrade, you could put that Astromech in there, but you could also put anything else in there. Including like the Rebel Officer or the Comms Technician. And that was, I don't believe they were play tested to be able to take those, and so it was like one of those things, or either that, or they didn't realize how powerful they were going to be and stuff. So it's kind of a nerf to Rebel Sleeper Cell. And that's kind of one of the things that always happens, inevitably, is you buy something, it comes out extra strong, and then it gets nerfed. So that's kind of always what happens. So if you're ever gonna, if you want to get like the most cutting edge meta stuff, like really use something brand new, like the couple of weeks it comes out before it gets nerfed. The other thing is the Viper Recon Droid upgrade card. He only had sidearm ranged. He didn't have sidearm melee, and so they basically now he has sidearm. Again, it's worded weirdly because it says remove the keyword sidearm ranged, but then gain sidearm melee and ranged. So I'm like, okay, basically you're also getting sidearm melee. And what sidearm means is that you cannot use the unit's weaponry. You have to use your own weapon for whatever type of attack it is. So if you have sidearm ranged, that means you have to use your own pistol. Like if they put a Han Solo unit, a Han Solo personnel upgrade or something like that, to go on Rebel Troopers, he's not using their gun. He's using his own gun, right? You'd have to be like, no, sidearm Han's blaster. He's going to use his own gun. Sidearm for ranged. But in the case of melee attacks, these guys didn't have that. Now, this became highlighted with B2s after their recent reworking, because B2s now had this double black ranged attack that also worked in melee. And so if you put the Vipers into a B2 unit, and all of a sudden you had a very, very cheap extra body into B2s, they've already done some things to kind of limit that with health and things like that. But now all of a sudden, you got this very, very strong Viper droid that if you get them into melee, the Viper droid was able to use the B2s, wrist rockets in melee. All right, so and of course that kind of broke immersion, and also was a very, very cost-effective way to add a lot of extra dice to a melee attack pool that probably shouldn't have been there. So this was, I think, a good common sense change. The Viper Recon Droid has always been one of those that's been pretty interesting. I think it's had a lot of, it's been at the forefront of a lot of subtle erratas and changes over the years. Yeah, rather than just increase the cost of the Viper Recon Droid, they gave it a common sense, I think, as a common sense upgrade change. So nothing super huge here, but just I mean, some of it's more future proofing than anything else. But yeah, that's a list of the changes. Now, the important thing about all of these changes that I think is really cool is that instead of just dropping a new document, you know, that they went back and they gave a little write-up on it. I think this goes a long way. It's good for communication. It's good to showcase the spirit of these things and gives people a talking point. I also like that they color code the things. I think they've been slowly making subtle improvements to how they handle Legion and how they handle the games that were, well, not all the games that were given to them. They definitely not improving in the other ones. No, I think they've done some good things with Legion and some bad things. But this is a good sign. This is definitely a positive because I like to see better communication. I like to see, you know, why was something done. You know, of course, there's always going to be a continued discussion of like, wait a second, was this really that strong? Maybe it wasn't that strong, but maybe it run the risk of being extra strong in the future, and they just are trying to nip it in the bud or future-proof things better. So again, nothing super huge here. Probably not a whole lot of stuff to change too much of your gameplay, although if you're running Rebel Sleeper Cell with some of those personnel upgrades, you're going to be restricted a little bit there. If you're running the Viper Droid with B2s, that's definitely going to be a feels bad for you. You're going to have to spend a little bit more to get that actual extra B2 in there, or just run it without the extra personnel, or run the Viper Droid and just deal with having less attack dice. It's not the end of the world, but there we go. And that is going to do it for this video. But I do have a giveaway winner to announce. So we have we're doing a triple card giveaway for today's winner. So today we are going to be giving away some 2019 X-Wing promos, and this is going to be 3 separate promos in one giveaway. So this is a fun one. So this one is going to have some different faction stuff. So we are going to have since I think Rebels and Separatists were impacted the most here. We got a Separatist Petronaki Arena Ace ship here, and then we've got some Rebels. We've got a U-Wing, which is a Blue Squadron Scout, and then we have R2-D2 in a Y-Wing. All of these are 2019 promos for X-Wing, and they're all going to one lucky person. And today's winner is Tom Sin. Congratulations, Tom Sin. All you have to do is go ahead and shoot me an email at mailcrabbok@gmail.com, and I'll get your contact information. We'll get you squared away. Just a reminder, anything that does not get claimed within 30 days will roll over into Patreon giveaways. So patrons get extra opportunities for all of those goodies. And that is going to do it. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are out of this world and help make this whole channel possible. Thank you so much for your continued support. I will talk to you later. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. So say we all. Everybody's gonna have fun when the dice start rolling, and always wash your socks.